Ladies and gentlemen, this is TVP World. You're watching another edition of Military Mind, bringing you news from the front lines. I'm your host, Benjamin Lee. The Ukrainian military has shot down 13 out of 14 drones launched by Russians in an overnight attack in 3 regions. Drone debris fell on energy infrastructure in Ukraine's northwestern region of Rivne. The attack triggered a defense mechanism that cut power to some locations, but has since been restored. Drone debris also damaged power lines in the central Kirovohrad region, where repair works is ongoing. On the front line, Russian troops have recently launched 4 mechanized attacks on several sections of the front in Donetsk Oblast. According to the Institute for the Study of War, the objective was to test Ukraine's response after the first wave of Russian offensive efforts in the northern Kharkiv Oblast. Analysts are saying that Russian forces only made minor advances east of Novopolsk and Staromirsky in the Donetsk region. Moscow's troops have also slowed down their attacks in the northern Kharkiv region and ramped up to Temple in the Pokrovsk direction, close to Avdiivka. But these Russian mechanized attacks, one on each of Russia's current 4 operation directions, are limited compared to what we've seen in previous weeks. And now, moving on to the Middle East. Over the past 3 days, Israel has ramped up its aerial bombardment of Rafah, including the Al-Mawasi evacuation zone. The Israeli military continues to push deeper into the city, supported by intense air attacks and heavy artillery shelling, the latter now extending to the vicinity of the Kuwati hospital, which is completely out of service. All of Rafah's field hospitals, with the exception of 1, are also unoperational. The IDF now has control over the Philadelphia corridor and is advancing deeper into the western part of Rafah city. Additionally, Israeli forces have uncovered over 10 smuggling tunnels crossing into Egypt from the Gaza Strip and are now in the process of destroying the routes. Alright, gather around for this gem from the Russian front lines. Now, this is a clip from a Russian serviceman showcasing the result of a rocket attack on his positions. In his own words, everything is burned to ashes. Seems like Russians got a real knack for stating the obvious. Maybe next time they'll think twice before picking a fight with an opponent that just won't lie down and take it.
Все взрывается. Вот так вот все приближается к нам. Сейчас все, уезжать будем. Вот коптерку подожгли вот только что. Камера. Не может быть. Давайте на плечо посильнее. Блиндаж Андреевича. То, что сгорело. Блиндаж старшины. Тоже все весь горел. Ничего не осталось. Баня вся сгорела. Зато печка живая в бане. Стоит. Это блиндаж тяги. Тяги просто сгорел. Просто... Все сгорело, вообще все, полностью весь лес. Вот ракета. Осколки везде валяются.
Ну там вот часть.
Вот еще. Пролетел к нам. Вот осколки валяются. Все выгорело. Вот она, оборонка сама.
The Ukrainian Marine unit, callsign Thunder, has recently made something of a grand entrance. No knocking, just action. Now they've tracked down and obliterated Russian hideouts, and the occupiers never knew what hit them. Now, the 5th Separate Battalion from the 118th Brigade just got their hands on some brand new toys, the Wild Hornet drones. Now, talk about bringing the sting to the battlefield.
Нашої військової частини, 5-й окремий батальйон 118-ї бригади. Дуже вдячні благодійному фонду «Дикі шершні», проєкту «Інформнапалм» за надані FPV-дрони. Надіємося, що ваша допомога пришвидшить нашу перемогу. Слава Україні!
Героям слава!
The strike drones company from the 47th Separate Mechanized Brigade has recently dealt some serious damage on front lines. They took out a Russian BMP-2, a BTR-82A, and even hit some Russian tanks and infantry. All of this went down near the village of Novobakhvativka, just east of Novoprokhovsk in the Donetsk region. Now the Russians barely stood a chance against them. Now in this next clip, see Ukrainian border guard troops scoring a direct hit on what seems to be a jet ski carrying 2 Russian occupiers in the Kherson region. Talk about making waves. Let's take a look. The 1st Assault Battalion of the 92nd Mechanized Brigade is out there on the front line issuing what we like to call traffic tickets to Russian occupiers for breaking road rules. That's right, the Russians thought they could just roll through Ukraine without any consequences. Well, surprise! Ukrainian forces are keeping the streets and the fields clean and safe, one ticket at a time. And with that footage, we conclude this edition of Military Mind. But for more news, update, and commentary, please stay tuned to TVP World.